Today we consider the back half of Psalm 1 verse 3, and in the prior video we looked at the first half of verse 3, where we saw that a righteous person was likened to a tree planted by streams or springs of water. Now we're going to find out more about that metaphor of the tree. Hatan karpan autu, dose in Cairo autu, kaita fulan autu uk apuruesetai, kaipanta hasa an poye katudo thesetai. Well, let's begin with this relative pronoun. This is a neuter, it is singular, and it is referring back to the zulon in the first half of the verse, telling us more about it. And so there's that sort of an immediate frame of reference. And it's nominative, so what's its verb? We got to skip over to dose here. This is a third singular future active indicative from didomi. And so this tree will give or yield, something like that, as a general pattern. And what will he yield? Ton karpan autu. His, notice the autu is referring to the karpan, its produce or its fruit. And then we have a temporal frame of reference in Cairo autu, in his or its season or sort of appointed time. And so, year in and year out, the righteous person is going to consistently bear fruits. Moreover, tafulan here is the sort of next subject. It is a slight pivot. This is a neuter singular nominative. And fulan is leaf or foliage. Once again, it's his fulan. So its or his leaf or foliage. You have a negation there with the uk aperuesetai. And this is from the verb apereo, which means to fall down or something like that. You'll see it's an epsilon contract. The ending, though, is asetai. And you see a slight spelling change where the epsilon of the contract has switched to a U there, and that's normal for this stem. This reo becomes a upsilon in the future. So actually, this asetai ending is really a thesetai ending. It's just drop the theta, and some irregular verbs do that in the future passive. So this is actually a third singular future passive indicative. But most folks will take it as middle in meaning. So even though it's morphologically passive with that theta, it's actually middle in sense. It's his or its leaf will not fall, something like that. And that's because that theta, as you may recall, often takes over the middle in both the aorist and the future passive. Moving on then, kai panta, hasa an poye, so everything. And then we have hasa an, as much as, or anything. Notice this particle here makes it, in some sense, indefinite. As much as poye, that's a third singular present active subjunctive. It's subjunctive because of the hasa an. As much as he does, katudo thesetai. This is from katudao. You'll see there's a sort of hadas there. This means to lead on a straight path. And similarly to the prior verb, it is a third singular future passive indicative with that clear thesetai. So in everything he will be led into prosperity, or led on straight paths, or will be prospered, or something along those lines, however you want to take that future sense of katudo, which means to lead in a straight or a prosperous path. And again, sort of like the prior video, one wonders if there are some allusions, at least in this case forward, to Revelation 22, which describes this renewal of the cosmos, and there's the tree of life there giving its fruit in its season. Maybe Revelation 22 is pointing back to not only Genesis, but even a sort of a general pattern that we see in this psalm. So a lot of fun stuff again in the second half of Psalm 1:3.